Rail passengers are facing more disruption. That's shortly after news of a significant pay deal for train drivers. Walkouts are being planned on LNER's East Coast Main Line every weekend from the end of August. Our political correspondent Tamara Cohen joins us now from Westminster. And that's because it's not to do with pay, Tamara.
Yes, that's right. They're two different things, but the timing is very tricky for the government. Just a couple of days ago, the new Transport Secretary announced that she had come to a pay agreement with the drivers' union ASLEF after 2 years of on and off industrial action, which has been really disruptive for passengers. And they've been offered, we understand, a just over 14% pay rise over 3 years, which they were going to be recommending to their members. But then just a day later, the union announced that drivers on the East Coast Main Line, which is run by one train company, LNER, will be taking strike action on weekends from the end of August until the middle of November. They're in dispute with their bosses, not about pay, but about what they allege is bullying and breaking agreements over rotas. But couldn't be worse for the government just 2 days after saying that they'd fixed the problems on the railways. Now, the Department for Transport say they are extremely disappointed by the news of this latest strike action. When we spoke to ASLEF this morning, Nigel Roebuck told us that it was a separate dispute and they still hoped that the main pay dispute with the government would be accepted by their members. This is what he told us.
It's a separate dispute and it's totally separate from the dispute we've had on pay that's hopefully heading towards a resolution. This is about a company that's consistently broke agreements and we have a real issue with industrial relations.
Tamara, the Labour government would say they inherited several of these disputes, which they're working their way through to settle, but that does mean some are still outstanding.
Yes, that's right. I think there's questions now about whether, seeing some of the pay offers the government have made, Labour will be opened up to more industrial action. They've announced this pay deal with the train drivers, but next week we've got the RMT union, which represents other rail workers, going in for negotiations with the Department for Transport. And their boss, Mick Lynch, has told a newspaper that he would want to see them get the same as the drivers. Otherwise, there could be problems. The government have also made a generous offer to the junior doctors soon after getting in to try and resolve that long-running and very damaging dispute. 22% pay rise over 2 years, which they're voting on this month. But we've now heard that the GPs, who have balloted for industrial action as well, had been offered about 7%, may take strike action to try and get 10%. You've also got the potential for further industrial action by other workers. Border Force staff at Heathrow are going on strike at the end of the month. Council workers may ballot for higher pay as well. So potentially quite a few problems coming down the road, especially as Rachel Reeves prepares for her autumn budget.
Quite. Tamara, thank you very much.